and gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin. This is my co-host Teddy. He's up on top of the monitor today. And we're going to be talking about this Acer Predator XB281HK. Now if you remember back, I actually reviewed the predecessor to this monitor, which was the XB280HK. And I actually thought it was a pretty good monitor, so let's jump into this review and check out this guy. So it's a 28-inch 16:9 display with a resolution of 3840 by 2160, so 4K at 60 Hz. Now it is featuring G-Sync, so if you don't know what G-Sync is, especially basically a module which goes into this monitor, and what that allows is your NVIDIA graphics card to perfectly sync up with the refresh rate of the monitor, so it pretty much eliminates tearing, which is a really good thing. It's also featuring 72% NTSC color gamut, and it has a 1 ms response rate, which is because it's running a TN panel just like the XB280 did. However, I don't mind this as much as most people seem to, even though I've reviewed so many monitors, both IPS and TN, because for the most part you're looking at it straight on, so it doesn't really matter too much. And of course you get the great response rate, and these TN panels are really good, so it's kind of like the best of TN. Now let's talk about the design first, because it definitely looks quite interesting in terms of its design. Now I really like this red and black finish. Now Acer is really going for this over the whole Predator line. As you know, they've released whole different products with that name. And I think it looks really good, honestly. Yeah, and also it's way better than its predecessor, which I thought was pretty funny with its little ring thing around the bottom as well. Now let's talk about the stand. So there's loads of adjustment in every direction. You got all the tilt, swivel, height adjustment, the whole shebang. You shouldn't be having any problems with this. As I said before, being TN, you're going to be wanting to look at this straight on because of the color shifting you might have. However, you've got heaps of adjustment there to get everything just right and exactly the way you want it, so it should be looking really good. Now I/O-wise, it's coming with more than just display ports. Usually on these monitors and on its predecessor you would just get a single DisplayPort 1.2 port because that's all G-Sync can use. However, now with this one you're also getting an HDMI 1.4 port, so you know, that was thoughtful, but not very useful, I guess, unless something changes with G-Sync in the future. It's also coming with 4 USB hub 3.0 ports, so 1 up and 4 down. What did I write? Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. Apparently I can't math today, probably my brain overheated in this intense heat we've been having. Moving on now to image quality, and I was really impressed. I was impressed with its predecessor, and I'm impressed with this as well. Image wise, it looks really good out of the box, except the brightness I think is a little bit off. It was just a bit too dark for my taste, so I just changed one of the user settings, and that brought the brightness up quite nice, and I was happy with that. And color wise it looked fantastic. I have no real complaints there when it comes to color. Everything looked very accurate to me, and I was very impressed with that. The menu is pretty basic, but it does everything you need it to do. There's a lot of adjustment there if you still want to go in and change a few things. It also has a gaming mode which adds an FPS counter to the top right corner, which I thought was kind of gimmicky. I don't know, it's not really my cup of tea. I suppose if you really want to see what's going on, then it's a good idea. However, yeah, I didn't really think it was that good of a deal. Otherwise, yeah, it's just got other pretty standard modes, you know, your eco mode and other things like that, so all pretty standard as far as the menu goes. Now, G-Sync works really well, and you definitely notice it in more fast-paced games such as a racing game or a game where you're doing flying or anything like that. So for that it works really well. I was very impressed by it. I've always thought it's really good. However, I don't like the fact that because you're paying for the module as well, it ends up costing you more as the buyer, whereas ones like FreeSync, which I've tested and I haven't really noticed a huge difference between them, that's free, you know, so that it doesn't end up costing you anything. So that's my only downside as far as G-Sync goes. For gaming, absolutely superb. Yeah, it just looks awesome, Really great. I was playing a lot of Just Cause 3 on it. I've been quite enjoying the game. It's ridiculous and it's pretty buggy, but no, at 4K it was going just fine. I have a GTX 970 in the rig, which is maybe a little bit a single 970s, not quite enough to do 4K really well. I had to pull settings down to like a medium or maybe a high on some of them. However, still really good. Solid monitor, great for gaming on. Wow, this is really impressive. Definitely one of the best 4K monitors I've ever been gaming on, and that's using a GTX 970. So if you had something more reasonable for a 4K display such as a 980 or a 980 Ti, then your experience would just be absolutely fantastic. But gaming isn't everything. What about general use? So productivity wise, a 4K display gives you heaps of screen real estate because it's like 4 1080p panels. Now on Windows 10 that's also good because scaling has been improved so much. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better than on something like Windows 7 or Windows 8.1, that's for sure. So yeah, having the screen real estate's really good. You can have a document on one side and stuff you're looking at on the other for typing stuff up if you're a student or you need to do things for work. Also, video editing and picture editing, that's also quite good, gives you a lot of space to work, and I really enjoyed that as well with editing some of the videos I've been doing lately, so that's really cool. 4K content isn't really, there's a bit of it on YouTube, you're starting to see it around, but it's still not really that common at the end of the day. However, when you do find it, it looks absolutely fantastic, so watching 4K videos on YouTube was an absolute joy. Which brings us now to the conclusion, and what do I make of the Acer Predator XB281HK? So I think the panel is fantastic. For a 10, it's definitely one of the best ones I have ever seen. Response rate wise, obviously you don't need to worry about that, so that was really good. Picture quality wise, it was absolutely fantastic, and it was just an absolute joy to use. Now design wise, I thought it was really awesome as well. The stand looks quite funky. I kind of like the design they've been going for. However, practical wise, it also is very good with loads of adjustments, so you're going to be able to get it just right. For productivity type stuff, it's going to be pretty good. It's not really its main focus, so if you're looking for something that has extremely good color accuracy, if say you're a picture editor or something like that, you might need to look somewhere else because this is mainly focused on gaming. But for just more generalized productivity type things, it's going to do you just fine for that as well, along with your gaming needs. Now price wise, it's coming in New Zealand right now at about the just under the $1,000 mark. Now that compared to other monitors in New Zealand on that are for sale, it's a little bit on the high side. However, I think for what you're getting with this, for the fact that it's 4K, that it's coming with a great stand, and that it's G-Sync, I think that's quite high of a price, but I think it's actually worth paying for it. So yeah, this one I don't think is too expensive. I think it's a bit high, but worth it. So definitely, if you're looking for a 4K G-Sync display, definitely take a look at this guy because it's worth looking at. Yeah, this thing is a seriously good gaming monitor. Now I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to Tech Showdown if you haven't already and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.